Hey everyone, Brock here. Just wanted to make a quick video for you all just to sort of give a bit of a run through as to how I've been setting up my Moodle exams and how I've been setting up my own Moodle question banks so I can sort of try and as seamlessly as possible set up my end of trimester and mid-trimester exams. Now, I should also preface that I'm not an expert in this area. A lot of the things that I've discovered and found out have been, by the most part, sort of self-discovery and sort of my own troubleshooting. However, the problems that I may have had to overcome are not the same as yours. So even though I'm going to try and give as much of an open-ended guide to this as possible, please keep in mind there might be a little bit of tinkering or tweaking that you personally will need to do just to optimize your own exams for your own cohort of students. Now, before we even think or look about Moodle and what's happening here, the first thing we need to do is set up our exam. You can enter it manually if you're one of those people that has plenty of time on their hands. As I'm assuming that, well, none of us do, there is a simple way that you can sort of format and set up the multiple choice questions so that they will seamlessly import. Now, there is a very strict format here that you must use. How it works is, and I've included sort of notes and information for it up here, is you need to write the question first, which I know makes sense, right? But the big thing here is that it must be in one paragraph. So I've included two sort of questions here just as an example. You can sort of full stop and continue to type and include more information about the question itself. Just don't press enter and keep going. That's not what you want to do. That will cause an error. So everything must be on the same line. Then you will press enter and you will have your 4 or 5 responses. Now, a key thing here is that they must be a capital letter. For reasons that I have no idea why, if it is a number or a lowercase letter, it will throw up an error and it won't import properly. I don't have an answer. Yes, it is stupid. But moving on, you can simply type A or a capital letter like that and press space. It should automatically format. If this doesn't work for you, if you click up the top here, you've got your bullets and numbering. You can click a little drop-down menu and you can select the capital letters ones here. So you will include your responses. So I have 4 responses to my question regarding Frank Starling law. I have option A, B, C, and D. Once I get to this point, I will press enter twice. So I delete that little, it's not going to be obviously option E. And I type in all capital letters, answer, colon, space, and then which one it is, whether it's A, B, C, or D. The reason why I bring up the structure of the multiple choice questions is because this is probably the most tedious step, and this is something where if there's even one part that is wrong, the whole thing will fail. That sounds really bad, but it is actually a good thing, which I'm going to explain further when we look at the Moodle question banks. Now, what I'm going to show you here is an example of a question that won't work. If I try to import this as a multiple choice question, it will come up with an error. And the reason for that is that this question breaks our format, because the format in which Moodle will recognize will be question, responses, and then which one of those responses is the correct answer. So although we can read this question and go, oh, this makes sense, Moodle has a freak out and just will throw up errors. So any questions like this that you still want to include, but does not follow this sort of strict convention here, you will unfortunately need to input those manually. So we have our questions here. They're all formatted. I've only got 2. You can have as many as you want. The next stage I would very highly recommend that you do is that you separate all of your questions based on modules. So in all of our courses, we have sort of clumps of content that we can relate together. Using my course as an example, 1808 NRS Anatomy and Physiology 2, I have mine grouped based on which organ system we're looking at. So the first 3 weeks are on the heart, then we do the lungs, we do the GIT, you get the idea. So what I will do is for my end of trimester exam, in which I'm assessing from week 1 to week 10, I want to have quite a few multiple choice questions, but I don't want to have them in just one gigantic Word document. I want to have them spread out so that I can have them essentially like one Word document just for the heart, and then one Word document just for the lungs. So I can spread them out so that I know each group will contain multiple choice questions based on each module that is examined and taught within my course. Now again, I know that sounds a bit excessive, it seems like a bit extra work. Bear with me because it's going to play a very, very large role in how we set up our exams and increase randomization. So now that our questions are sorted out, what we want to do is prepare it for uploading or importing into Moodle. So how we do this is we just go to File, Save As, Browse, and just choose a folder where you would like it to be saved. Where it says Save As Type, I'm going to change that to .text, and then we click Save. Now what's going to happen here is a little pop-up is going to appear. That's okay. What we're going to do is click Other Encoding, and then scroll up very slightly, and we want UTF-8. Press OK, and we're done. So that's our first part in which we are formatting our questions for upload into Moodle. What we're going to cover in the next video is how to organize these questions in our question bank. Then we'll explore how to set up the exam itself. See you in the next one.